when they got promoted, obviously you were there. The season after, were you coming out of contract? I suppose, how did it kind of end with Forest? Did you know that you were going to leave? Because obviously straight from there you came to Sydney.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing actually. And I had a year left on my contract, and I knew there were, I knew the ambitions of the club. The season we got promoted, I'd started I think 11 or 12 games and come off the bench 20 games. So I was, I wasn't like a starter every single game. But I felt like I could, add value, and I knew I wouldn't play those, but I sort of would have been happy to be there for a year and be around the squad and just, a bit of experience or whatever. Um, but yeah, I remember pre-season, the manager, we'd been away to Spain for a week, and then I got back the next day and he just texted me to say, you're
You're done.
in the under 23s, and you're in the under 23s, you're not allowed in the first team building. And considering I'd been there 5 years and played 150 games and whatever, and yeah, to not sort of just come up to me or like to ring me or just in person. We'd be away for a week in Spain. You know what it's like in football. Like, these things are quite strange. How, you know, yeah, it was really disappointing how it ended, because then, suddenly I weren't even allowed to be in the first team building, and you just, you know, yeah, it was just
Yeah.
weird, because we still had a lot of young lads who from the under 23s still training with the first team to make up the numbers, to make training better. And I was training with 15, 16-year-olds 3 times a week just to keep fit, and just because they wanted to force me out. So it was a shame how they treated me at the end, because they didn't. If they'd have just said, "Oh, you're free to go," we'd like you to leave. Obviously, keep training until you find a club. That would have just, that's football. You know what I mean? You go, "Oh yeah, no problem."
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a pretty brutal way to end it, but it led me to here, so it all worked out for the best.
Yeah, that's I think for a lot of fans listening, probably maybe there'll be some Forest fans tuning in for this, or even just Australian fans to listen to. I think, as players in Australia, it's a little bit more regulated. They won't do that probably, but we're treated essentially just like pawns in the game. And if you're the star, if you're scoring against Villa and getting 4 assists, you're the king there. And then, 6 months later, a year later, if they don't need you, it's like, well, don't worry about Joe. Send him a text and he can fuck off. We're not too bothered.
Yeah.
And like, I understand it's a business, and I'm sure we all do as players. We understand, but there's still that level of respect that I think you've earned, just as a person, but also, what you did for the club for the 4 years. You helped them get promoted, and to not be able to go out on your own terms, or at least, had the decency to have a conversation, that can leave a very, very sour taste, I'm sure, in your mouth.
Oh, friend.
Fuck you lot, where's the beer?